Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Transformers Friday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Transformers Studio Series 86, the Transformers the Movie, Commander Class Optimus Prime. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, we have the Transformers, the movie. And there's a nice, I don't know, maybe it's a digital render of Optimus Prime in his truck mode, doing that fiery launch thing. Then here on the front of the box, we've got Takara Tomy, the Transformers, the movie, Generations Transformers. And then we've got some nice artwork of Optimus Prime transforming here, just like he did in the movie. And then here's a picture, product shot of, you know, how things work, and another product shot. And these are probably digital renders, knowing Hasbro. Then we've got Studio Series 86, number 31, Optimus Prime, and he's an Autobot. 8 and up, Hasbro print. On the bottom, we've got over here, includes figure, trailer, vehicle, 7 pieces, removable backdrop, and instructions. Recycled print. Small fine, legalese, made in Vietnam print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, Studio Series 8631, and then there's some nice artwork of Optimus Prime Commander Class. On this side, again, we've got some more nice artwork of G1 Optimus Prime, Authentic Transformers. And here on the back, we've got big screen inspired scale, detail, and backdrop. I added the and, of course. Then here we have what is most likely some digital renders of the figure and accessories. Transforms in 40 steps. Battle of Autobot City, the Transformers the movie, Optimus Prime backdrop included. And then let's see what it says down here. Optimus Prime joins the Autobot City defense to stop the Decepticons, no matter the cost. And then here we have, warning, don't stick things in your pie hole of any language that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Small, fine, legalese, made in Vietnam print. Another symbol I'm not going to learn. And Hasbro print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Well, let's take a look at the figure and his accessories in his alt mode. And there's a lot of pieces here, so where to start? We'll just start with the handy dandy instruction manual. It's got the nice illustration of Optimus on there. Studio Series 86, Transformers Generations 8 and up, the Transformers the movie, Optimus Prime. And then on the inside, I'm not going to unfold the whole thing. You kind of can get an idea of what they look like just from this. Okay, I'll unfold it a little bit. So, nice, clean illustrations that are clear and mostly easy to follow. I had a little bit of difficulty with some of the picture instructions. And so that just may be me and not have anything to do with the actual instructions. So, bear that in mind. Now, for the accessories, first up we have his Energon axe. It's got a port right here. And there's a port right here, and we'll show what that's for later. But it's made out of a translucent plastic. And I have to say, it has nice sort of molded details, I guess. It's got a little bit of an edge there to it. And that's really about it. And maybe this piece right here. But it looks nice. Then we have 2 of these blast effects. And there's a port here on the end. There's also a port on the sides of them right here. You can see mine is pretty deformed there, and that's just from being in the package. So, and then same with this one. This one isn't quite so deformed, but it still has those same two ports. It's the same thing, and they work with his ion blaster here, which looks really nice. It's got a little bit of a paint app right here. It's kind of a gunmetal color, and this is silver, and I think it looks really nice. And the way this works, of course. So there we have that out of the way. Next up, we have these flame jacks, I guess, where, you know, in the movie he shoots some flame out of the bottom of the front of the cab to lift himself up and transform and just start giving it to the Decepticons. And there's this piece, and the other piece is the opposite of this, and same with this. There's an opposite piece to this. This is the piece that goes on a flat surface, and then it's got a post right here. There's a port in the bottom of this one. You can see it's got a channel. And of course I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm filming. Always when you're filming, my friends. So if you're going to start a YouTube channel, keep that in mind. So maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I don't know. Where's the other one? I was just doing it backwards, of course. So there's how they fit together. And this one is the same, but for the opposite side. So now here we have Roller. So yay, Optimus comes with Roller. Much larger than the accessory pack, War for Cybertron accessory pack Roller. Also, he's silver rather than that very dark blue. And I have to say, he does have some nice molded details in here. And there's something I forgot to pick up so that I could show that it does this. So I will be right back to get that. Oh, I'm going to go get it, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we have one of the Power of the Prime's Prime Masters in his armor. And of course in the armor he can't really do a whole lot. Maybe he could peg in to one of the slots there and ride like that. But really, you pull this guy out, and don't ask me which one it is. I want to say it's Liege Maximo, maybe. So if I can get him out of the armor. There we go. So we'll adjust this guy a little bit into a seating position, a seated position, and no, he doesn't want to go in there. I could have swore they showed these guys go in there. So maybe I have to work. Ah, there he goes. Alright, so these guys will fit in there, and I'm guessing you can fit 4 of them. So I think that's really cool that they go back to the Power of the Primes and Titan's Returns, because Titan Masters, if these guys fit, Titan Masters will of course fit too, because, you know, they're basically the same thing. So something in there. And then of course Roller has the 6 wheels. There was no assembly required on Roller, and he rolls just fine. Now here we have the repair drone. And yes, the canopy here does open, however, can't really fit anything, at least that we have with Transformers, that I know of in there. So it would have been cool if they made this where the Prime Masters and Titan Masters could fit in this as well. That would have been kind of cool. But I understand because of the size that it is, that is not the case. So this piece, you know, translucent windscreen here, or canopy. Looks like it's got some guns on the front here, and these pieces work on there as well. And then of course he does unfold. So oops, I wasn't supposed to unfold that yet. So he's got this arm, it's got a joint here, and a joint here. And then of course these pieces open up as well. So this one has a hinge here, a hinge here, a hinge here, and one right here. And yes, the claws do open, so that's kind of cool. I like that. I think that is a nice touch. And I don't want to make it sound like these Commander Class are the poor man's masterpiece, but I can see where these pieces are very heavily inspired by Masterpiece. So here we've got 2 ports here on roller and 2 posts here on the repair drone, so they do fit together and can go like that. And I do believe, if I can get this off, I do believe Optimus's gun roller can also carry that, so I think that's neat. It's kind of a tight fit though, so just be aware of that. And one last thing with the roller before we move on to something else is, can roller pull the trailer? And yes, roller pulls the trailer just fine. He can pull it from that point, and I think this one as well. Nope, not that one. It's too shallow. This one, this port is not as deep as the one on the back. So there's that. Now let's take a look at the trailer. And I have to say, this is a really nice looking piece. It's got some paint details on here, an Autobot Tampo, lots of nice molded detail, all these rivets and panel lines and stuff, so really cool. The wheels are kind of that plastic that's sort of rubbery feeling, but not quite rubbery feeling. So there is that. Now he has storage not just in the trailer, but in this section under here, similar to the Kingdom Optimus Prime. And what you have to do is, and it doesn't want to do it now, but you have to flip the bumper tabs in right here. I guess it's the license plate, and it tabs in right here, and it's on a hinge right here. And then this piece is also on a hinge right here. And then this is for storage for the flame effects. So there is that. Now as far as the trailer goes, it does have the arms here, or the jacks, to support it when Optimus Prime or Roller is not pulling it. And then it just folds up in here. Now when it transforms, and I really don't want to get into that right now, so, but there's parts of it that I have to open it up so that we can see. There's lots of molded detail in it, and I'll get into that later. But what I really wanted to show is these 2 ports right here. The repair drone tabs in right there, And then he's got two little tabs on the front of him, and there's two little slots here on the front of Roller. So Roller doesn't go in the way you might expect in the trailer. You expect him to be facing the doors, but he doesn't. So when he's not in use, he tabs in to the repair drone, and you just close it back up. Now, of course, this trailer doesn't have like the port in it here where the drone can come out, or the port in it here where the drone can come out. And, you know, that's okay. It's fine. It never did that in the cartoon. It never really showed the repair drone that I'm aware of. So, let's take a look at Optimus himself. And I know this is already running really long. This is going to be a really long review, folks, and I apologize. But in order to cover everything, this is, you know... So, it's got some... I don't know if it's paint apps or there's inserts behind the windows, because these parts seem to be clear. So, I'm guessing there's an insert in there behind the windows, and that goes on the sides as well. You can see some tabs, and makes it a little bit messy looking. We've got some paint apps up here for those top lights. We've got a silver paint app here for the lights and the bumpers as well, and these two paint apps also have a nice Autobot Tampo there on the side. That's just the outline, so that's kind of cool. The wheels are pinned, but you know, on something like this, it doesn't matter. The pins don't really stand out that much, especially with these nice silver paint apps. Now these pins stand out right here. These kind of sort of do, not too bad. And then we have them on here as well. But nice panel lines as far as the molded detail goes. I'm not talking about the actual panels and the lines that they leave behind. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual molded detail. And here's paint apps here on the mirrors as well. And there's lots of nice molded detail throughout. It's a very nice looking cab over engine semi. This piece is, you know, you're gonna have, it's never gonna be perfect. And then we have the smokestacks, which are long, and it looks like they're painted silver, so I like that. And then he rolls really well, so that's a plus. Now on the underside here, you can see he's got these two rectangular ports, and what those are for are these flame jacks, I guess, if that's what y'all want to call them. That's what I'm going to call them. If y'all want to call them something different, that's cool too. But that one doesn't want to go in, of course. It's because I'm putting it in wrong. Right here, there's that rectangular post that goes in there, but you'll see there's also an edge to it right here, and it has to go on the outside. So there's that. Let's see if I can get the other side. So there's how that fits. And I have to say, that does look pretty nice. It's cool. It's a nice effect. It's a cool thing to have, especially on this particular version of Optimus Prime. And then I guess the only other thing that we need to do is attach the trailer to Optimus and see how that works. So I think there's a good bit of space in between here, so there should never be, you know, There's no problems with it turning like a tractor trailer should turn. And again, it rolls really well. The trailer does add some heft to it, but not a whole lot of drag. So that, my friends, is a look at Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime in his alt mode. It's time for alt mode comparisons, and because this guy is so big, I can't do it on the turntable, so we'll have to kind of do it old school. And I figured we'd start off with what I guess to be the most important comparison is how does this compare up to the Earthrise Optimus Prime. And, you know, size-wise, the trailer just beats the crap out of it. And the cab as well. Let me back that up a little bit so you can kind of see, you know, so that kind of does it as well. But I think that this one, the Studio Series, is a little bit too big, perhaps, even for it to be Commander Class, at least in vehicle mode. You know, this one is much closer to the 1 to 32. This is 1 to 32 scale, like the original G1 Optimus Prime. So, and that was the Amazon alternate universe Earthrise Optimus Prime. So, the other Prime I have sitting here to compare him with is the Legacy United Deluxe Class G1 Universe Optimus Prime. And as you can see, there is no real comparison as far as size goes here. This one is way undersized, and I think this one is just a tad oversized. Now, to give you an idea of how he looks with Commander Class, here we have Studio Series 86 Commander Class Ultra Magnus, and Optimus's trailer is just a little bit longer than Ultra Magnus's trailer. And I know it looks like Ultra Magnus is kind of sticking out here a little bit because of the angle, but it's not. He's not. They're both noses are on the line, I guess you could say. So there is that. Of course, in robot mode, Ultra Magnus is going to end up being a little bit bigger. And here we have the other Commander Class Prime. It's the War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Commander Class Rodimus Prime. And then I'll put them both on the same line there. And Optimus's trailer is still just a little bit longer than Rodimus's trailer. But I think these size up okay together. But I still think that Ultra Magnus and this Optimus Prime are probably a little bit on the big side. Now, just for a little bit more size-wise comparison, I like to compare how Prime sizes up with Bumblebee, and it's hard to do it with a Studio Series 86 Bumblebee because he's the much, penny racer style deformed kind of look to this version of him. But here is the Titans Returns Legends class Bumblebee, and you can see even there there's not a whole lot of size difference, and I think these kind of size together okay. And the last vehicle mode that I want to show off is War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Deluxe Class Huffer. So there you have it, my friends, a super long comparison in vehicle mode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the comedy portion of our program, where I attempt to transform this fine Transformer. And first up, we're going to move the cab piece of Optimus Prime out of the way, and we're going to transform the trailer. Easy peasy, right? So first thing we're going to do, we're going to put it into repair mode. So we have to open the back of the trailer and then split it down the middle. Then we can fold this back up, and we'll take roller off, and let's adjust the camera a little bit. So that's pretty much repair mode. Of course, the drone, oops, the drone does fold out to carry out repair functions. And then other than that, what you have to do to put it in regular base mode is this leg right here. You want to turn it out approximately 90 degrees. There's no stop, so you won't feel anything catch or anything like that. And then this piece, this foot, rotates down, and then you do the same thing over on the other side. And then lay everything back down, flip this back down as a ramp, and let's adjust the camera again. And there you have it in base mode. So let's get that out of the way. And then we'll bring the cab back in and see if I can't transform this part without too much of an issue. So first thing I'm gonna do is move the tires apart just a little bit and flip this piece out, and you can see there are slots right here and there are tabs right here, and that's how that goes into position. Then let's see, untab the sides of the cab, and you can go ahead, these pieces are on a hinge right here, you can go ahead and flip those back in. Let's go ahead and do that on both sides. Then I think, yeah, then this you can separate from the window part, and pull this piece out like this. Then there's a hinge right here. This piece flips back, and then put that back into position. While this is fully folded out, let's go ahead and tilt it back like this. Then the wheels, along with these panels, can go into place, and then you flip them up like this. And this has a double hinge on it, so you kind of manipulate it so that upper hinge is the piece that closes down, and it closes down on this panel. So that part we are done with for the time being. Let's go ahead and we'll undo the back portion. There's a tab here, and then under here there's a tab too. I'll show you that in just a second. So lean the cab forward just slightly, and it'll untab this piece, and then you can flip this piece up, and you see there's a slot right here and the tab right here. So just go ahead and undo both sides of that. And now that that's loose, we can go ahead and try and finish up with the torso portion. So you want to untab the arm piece here, and on the inside here there are two tabs, and there's 2 slots on the inside of the arm that correspond with that. And then we'll do the same thing here on the other side. Then this piece right here flips up, and once you have those in place, these pieces right here, oh, these pieces spread apart, and they're on a double hinge. It's hinged here and here, so you straighten that up. Just kind of mash them into place, and they only go a certain amount, so this piece can flip up, and there's a long tab right here and then a slot that corresponds to it, and you can go ahead and put those together. This piece right here, we'll go ahead and flip it down. That becomes his abs, and you're wondering, oh my gosh, why is his head there? It's because while those tabs are up, we go ahead and spin this part around, and then we put these flaps back down, and that kind of locks these 2 pieces into place. And then we want to flip the head up, which isn't as easy as you might think. It doesn't even want to come loose. Ow. So it tabs in, and it tabs in pretty good once you put it into place, and I had to untab this to get it untabbed internally. So once you have that, you just go ahead and flip that whole panel with the head on it all the way up. Then the arm pieces, you just go ahead and move them forward, and this backpack piece comes up, and there's a tab, big long tab right here, and a slot right here on the back of this panel that his head is attached to, and those lock into place like that. Then here you want to go ahead and rotate that around, and if the waist piece isn't in position already, it does just untab from here at this joint and locks into place there. So this piece right here, first thing, well, not first thing because we're way past that, but what you want to do before you deal with this panel is go ahead and flip the tires in like that. Then there's a hinge right here on these panels, and just kind of, they do tab in. There's this big tab right here and the slot for it right here. So you want to untab that, and then you want to flip this around so the red is now on the inside. And we want to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Let's flip those, after you flip them off of there, they just clip into place right here. So we'll go ahead and separate the legs. This piece right here flips up. It's hinged right here. So once those are in position, you can go ahead and let's fix the feet. And then once you have the feet fixed, this piece right here goes on the inside of the foot, and then you can go ahead and close or move these panels down, and they do, like this part of it right here goes in this slot here like so, and then we can untab these pieces you can see there's a tab right here and a slot right here, and it's on a double hinge right here. So you want to make it where the hinge is straight right here, and then you'll see there's a slot and a slot, and there's a tab and a tab, and put those into place. There was a little bit of a click right there, so I like that satisfying sound when it clips into place. So undo this one, and it's just the same as the other side. And you just close those back down. And now as far as the arms go, you want to straighten them out and then turn them around at that bicep, the upper bicep. Cut, and then they're in proper position, and then we'll go ahead and open this panel and then flip the hand out, and same thing on this side. Flip the hand out, and you have to maneuver it because there is a little, like a tab piece on it, and it kind of fits in here. So just want to make sure you have that lined up properly so that these panels close up. And put the smokestacks back in the proper position. And there you have it, my friends. Optimus Prime all transformed. Well, let's take a look at the figure in his robot mode with his accessories, and we'll take a look at the internal parts of the trailer. And we'll go ahead and start with the trailer first. And there's a ton of molded detail on the inside of this trailer. And it's a real shame that there's no paint apps or anything like that to help it stand out. Now, I was curious as to how the Toy Hacks stickers looked, and so I did watch the Patriot Prime review on the Toy Hacks stickers for the trailer, and he pointed out something that I did not notice, because, you know, it's kind of sort of hidden in here, but you do have molded detail for the two command areas that are in the G1 Optimus Prime trailer. And there's one here, you can see, like, there's the laser bits for it, and here's the seat and just the outline of it, and same over here on this side as well. And you know, that Toy Hacks sticker set looks a bit involved, because I mean, there's stickers all the way down here, long stickers down here and here, and each one of these little pieces right here gets an individual sticker. So it's something that's going to take up a lot of time. I don't know that I want to invest that on the inside of this trailer. It's probably going to be closed up mostly, or maybe in repair bay mode. But I do think it's fun that they did include these molded pieces, you know, in at least the outlines of those pieces. It's a nice throwback to that original Optimus Prime. And you can see here, the pieces do store. There's a little post right here, and there's a port in it that we talked about earlier. And you just line the port and the post up, and then it cradles in these two brackets right here, except mine's bent. So, and then in a few minutes after we look at the other stuff with Optimus Prime, we'll see how the rest of the stuff stores. So in fact, let's go ahead and we'll take care of that first. So the other blast effect, which I pointed out earlier, has a port in the end of it here, and it just posts right on to the end of Prime's blaster. So there is that, and then this piece is going to store the exact same way as the other piece. Just line the port and the post up, and then it rests, cradles in these two brackets like that. Now for the energy axe, for Prime to use it, and this works on either side. So you open the arm back up like you're going to transform it, and then you flip the hand back inside and close this back down, making sure those tabs are lined up like so. And you'll notice that there's a post here, and there's that port in the axe, and it just goes right on that post. So now Optimus Prime is ready for battle. And as far as this piece goes, I mean, it's a nice looking piece. Not a whole lot of details in it because it's supposed to be made of energy, and it's molded in this translucent colored plastic. And you know, it's a nice looking piece. Let's move Prime back, and then we can show how this piece stores. And you find that little port, and just like the blaster effects, that little port and this little post right here, you try to line those up, and then these pieces cradle, these brackets cradle the piece in place. So let's go ahead and flip Optimus's hand back out. And then we'll take a look at his blaster and how he holds it. So here's his ion blaster, and it does have a little post on the end of it here, and that's fine. Nice molded detail throughout. It looks like, I don't want to say it's molded in this color. It's a nice gunmetal color, and it does look like a paint app, but I can't tell you for sure whether that is the case or if it's molded in this color. But you can see it's got a lot of little like sparkly glitter bits in it as well. And then for sure this piece looks like a paint app. It's some nice silver to kind of set the shoulder rest, I guess. If this pulled out, it would be a shoulder rest, but that's what it looks like, even though the handle of the gun is right here. So there's a little paint app right there to just kind of make those vents stand out. And then you'll notice there's a channel right here and right here, and that's not just for molded detail, but it's also for storage in the trailer, which we'll get to in just a minute. And then we'll go ahead and talk about Prime's articulation in his hand, because we'll have to get him to hold the rifle. So these three bottom fingers right here, they have two hinges in them, and they're molded together. So there's one hinge right here, and then one about the mid knuckle or mid finger. So one at the knuckle, one at mid finger, and gives you two. And this index finger is the same. A hinge, you know, the hinge runs through all the fingers, but anyway. And then, you know, and this one is, you can articulate it by itself. And then in the hand, you notice there's kind of a round shape in there. That's to help hold the gun. So you kind of close the hand up just a tad, and you put the gun in his hand, and he will hold it without closing the fingers, although it still tends to rotate around a bit, and it doesn't fit down in there as much as I would like, so that his trigger finger actually goes over where the trigger is. But you get the basic idea, and that's how he holds it. So, alright, final piece for the trailer, and you can see there's this long tab right here, and this channel I talked about earlier that's on both sides of the gun. Does it go that way? No. It goes this way. And then you just line it up with that tab, give it a good push, and there you go. And they all stay in there pretty good. So now we can get that trailer out of the way. Let's take a good look at Optimus himself, and let's move the camera up a little bit. One thing I did forget to show in the transformation is that once you get his head up into position, you do have to readjust the antenna here, and they do move. So, and there is a stop. You can feel where it's supposed to stop, so that they kind of stay lined up, but not really, huh? Could be the camera though. So anyway, there we go. So let's take a look at Optimus's head. So it looks like the helmet piece is molded in this blue plastic, and then this is a paint app for the crest here. The eyes are a nice blue, light blue. And I don't know if that's a paint app or if it's a separate piece on the inside of the head, and that's just, it's molded in that plastic. I don't know exactly, so it could be either or. And then gray plastic for the face and the face plate. And then again, we've got these paint apps for the lights. We've got the translucent covers and the blue inserts in here, and it does look a little funky with the tabs there. And again, the nice Autobot, you know, the Autobot symbol. I don't know why I'm having trouble with words today. Words are hard. And we've got a nice silver paint app here. I think it's yellow here. If it's not yellow, please, you know, understand I am colorblind, so don't make fun of handicapped people. And the legs are white. I think they're molded that way, like this all around the waist as well. And he's got some flaps right here, and these move up. And there's some in the back too, and I forgot to put them down when I transformed him, but they do go down as well. Nice silver paint apps for the gas tanks. And then it's got some paint apps here on the front of his toes, and then on the back of his feet as well. And I have to say, it's nice molded detail throughout this figure. It does really match up a lot to that animation style. And I don't know if it's as close. It's probably not as close to that as the Masterpiece MP44 Optimus Prime, but I don't have that one, so I can't really tell you how they compare up. I do have the MP10, and I can tell you that one looks way more like in the style of the original toy than the cartoon. One last feature that I want to show for Optimus before I move on with his articulation and stuff is the chest does open just like in the movie. This piece raises up, and then here's the matrix inside here. And the matrix looks very much like matrix that we've gotten in the last couple of years. So nice gold paint app on here, and I think it's silver paint app as well, because I think it's all molded in this translucent plastic. But you can see there's a peg right here in the middle that port goes into that poke goes. Anyway, you know how that works. And then there's two little tabs on the side where the handles go, and I'll see if I can get this back into place. And I may have it upside down, I don't know. So there you go, it's back in place. Close this down, and you can close this up. So that's all the features, I think, of Robot Mode. Now let's take a look at his articulation. At the head, he doesn't really look up. He can look down slightly. No chicken neck. He's got some waggle. He can do the full Exorcist. At the shoulder, there is a bit of a butterfly joint, and I don't know if that's intentional or mostly due to transformation, but it will go back that far and it just stops flat. There does have a 360 degree rotation, and he can raise it up approximately 90 degrees. You have to move this up a little bit, but at the upper bicep there is a cut for 360 degree rotation. If this is down, it does get in the way, so you do have to move that out of the way. Single hinged elbow gives you about a 90 degree bend forward, but it also gives you about a 90 degree bend backwards. At the wrist, it does rotate 360 degrees, and we already previously talked about the articulation in the hand. At the waist, there's a straight cut, gives you a full 360 degree rotation. At the hips, there's no flaps on the side to hinder anything or get in the way or have to be moved. So he can give you the full splits. And you move this flap up out of the way, and he can kick forward, and not quite 90 degrees, it doesn't look like. Move the flap in the back up and a little bit more than 90 degrees back, so he kicks like a mule. Now at where those joints come together, there is a rotation there at the upper thigh that gives you a full 360 degrees rotation. Although when it gets around to this part right here, there is some difficulty. It's not, I don't think it's quite molded to really do the 360 degree rotation there, but it will do it if you really want it to. Single hinge knee, and it gives you that much bend, so that's really good, I think. And then at the feet, there's really no tilt. I guess you could say his toes tilt down some. That's mostly due to transformation, but it does have rocker, and it rocks in 90 degrees. So that's very good. And there you have it, my friends. There's a look at the figure, the trailer, accessories, and storage. It's time for my favorite part of a Transformers review, robot mode comparisons. And here we have Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime with Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Bumblebee, Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Deluxe Class Huffer, Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Commander Class Rodimus Prime, and Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Ultra Magnus. For our final set of robot mode comparisons, here we have the Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime with the Transformers Titans Returns Legends Class Bumblebee and the Walmart exclusive Netflix Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. For final thoughts on the Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime, I have to say I really like this Optimus Prime. It is the animated version of Optimus Prime. Some people might complain about his little backpack there. I don't think it's too bad. It kind of fits in with the aesthetic of it, the amount of backpack that he has, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. He does come with great accessories, 2 blast effects for his ion blaster, the pieces that connect together to make the flaming jack, in his truck mode, and Energon Axe, and of course the Ion Blaster itself. The trailer is really, really nice. I will say this about the trailer though, it could have used a couple of paint hits on the interior. I like the roller. I like the fact that roller, you can sit Titan Masters or Prime Masters in roller this time around. I think that was a really neat feature that they included on that, and allowed, you know, older pieces to still be used with this version of Optimus Prime. So I think that's really cool. But just the fact that it needed more paint hits, or at least a few paint hits, something on the interior. And that, for me, just a couple of hits could have gone a long way. But that's just my opinion. Your opinion, of course, may vary. Your mileage may vary. And a lot of people might say, well, just get the Toy Hacks sticker sheet. Okay. And for some people, that might be a viable alternative. For me, I can't put a sticker on straight for crap. So I don't think that would work for me, especially with some of the stickers being extra, you know, pretty much the length of the entire trailer. And painting is not an option for me. I'm not a painter, so I guess I'll just have to live with it like it is, and that's fine. Probably won't be using the interior of it very much in the base mode anyway. Maybe in the repair bay mode, I might use it in that capacity. But with Optimus itself, I really think aesthetically this is really good. It's probably the best mainline Optimus Prime that I have ever owned. And I've owned a lot of Optimus Primes over the years, especially, you know, the G1 version is always going to have a special place for me, because, you know, for me, that is Optimus Prime. The other guys are just, you know, it's kind of like this, you know, they just use his name. And so this one, I think, is probably the best mainline Optimus Prime. It does have a few little things that I would have liked to seen done better, like the little tab marks in his windows. You know, it kind of throws the aesthetics off just a little bit. And again, that's something that can be fixed with, if you are good at stickers, it can be fixed with the Toy Hack stickers. If you're a painter, it can be fixed that way. I'm not good at either one of those things, so it will have to live the way it is. Now, size-wise, I think robot mode, size-wise, is pretty spot on. He's not much bigger than Earthrise Optimus Prime, who's basically a Voyager-sized Transformer. And he's it's not a lot larger than that. So in robot mode, I think the size is okay. Where it seems like he's a little bit big is in his truck mode, and it just he oversizes everything except for maybe Commander Class Ultramagnus, who kind of has the same issue in his alt mode. I think his bot mode might actually be a little bit big too. Ultramagnus is not Optimus Prime's, but not to a degree that it makes me not want to fit it in my display. And the same with this one here, but with this one being like super animated looking, I don't know that I want to put it in my display with the rest of, the War for Cybertron trilogy stuff, because the aesthetics don't quite match up. Now, Ultra Magnus is okay. And I'm going to put this one in my display just to see how it looks, how I respond to it that way. But I may end up leaving the Earthrise in my display. Hell, I may put both of these guys in my display just because, you know, it's like a Transformers Multiverse display anyway. So, there you go. That problem solved. But I give high marks all around to this version of Optimus Prime, especially if you are a G1 cartoon fan. Now, if you are not a G1 cartoon fan, this may not be the Optimus Prime for you. And I'm not saying that to say that this is a bad one. It's just that if this is not your ideal version of Optimus Prime, then you might want to pass on this one and wait until the version that you really want is available. But, you know, because there are a lot of options for Optimus Prime these days. All of them aren't at an affordable level, but there are a lot of options. Lots and lots of Optimus Primes out there. But I like this guy. I enjoy it. The transformation was after I've transformed him a couple of times. I gotten to where I like it. At the first transformation, I didn't like it, but that goes for a lot of Transformers. First time I transform, I don't like them because I'm still, you know, I'm learning how to do it and looking at the instructions, and you know, sometimes they're not helpful as they should be, and so there is that. But after doing about 3-4 times, I enjoy transforming this Optimus Prime. I find this transformation enjoyable. I find that it works. I find that for the most part it tabs in correctly like it's supposed to. Now there's a place or two where you have to kind of fight with it just a little bit to get it to tab in properly, but you know, that's, I guess, with any Transformer for the most part. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.